Hello, and thanks for stopping by. This is going to be a very short introduction to a game that I'm developing. It's a dungeon crawler, and it uses one of these, a simple Rubik's Cube. To give you some context, the game is set in a bunker. Now, I work in a bunker during the day. It's a converted World War II bunker, and down there are various classrooms and learning facilities. And one of my pupils brought in a Rubik's Cube a few weeks ago, and I thought, you can actually encode quite a bit of data on a scrambled Rubik's Cube. I love it. So I'm going to use this as the basis of the game. So the idea is we explore the bunker through different rooms, we encounter traps, we encounter enemies and some other good stuff. And there is an aim to the game, so it does actually push you towards a finishing point. It's not perfect, and I would appreciate people giving it a go. There is a link to download the rules, and nothing's perfect, don't forget, but I'd appreciate some feedback, maybe some suggestions, maybe in work with me on making it better. I definitely think there is something here. So we have a Rubik's Cube, and the idea is we play with the center white square facing up. We give it a good scramble, but the white square has to face up. Okay, we have three stats. We have HP, we have food, and we have stamina. Okay, HP starts at 20, food at 5, and also the stamina at 5. The HP is used in the fighting. The food is basically energy, or our ability to move through rooms, because it costs us one item of food per room, costs us energy. And the stamina dictates or controls how many turns we can make on the cube. So let's make a start. So with the white cube up, we've given it a scramble. We have 4 joining squares around our central white squares, and it's these ones which will tell us what's in our current room in our bunker. So red is an enemy, white is just a friendly one. Orange is a trap, and yellow is a wild card, and we'll come on to the wild card in a moment. So at the minute we have a red square. Okay, we have an orange, a white, and a yellow. So we have to deal with these 4 before we can progress through to the next room. But there are various stages each level has to go through. So the first stage of a level is we sort of need to recharge. So I'm going to every recharge is a +2 to stamina. So I'm going to add 2 to my stamina. So I'm now on 7. And it allows me, these stamina values allow me to turn the cube. Okay, so it costs, if we want to do like a 90-degree turn, it costs us 1 stamina. If we want to do two 90 degrees or 180-degree turn, it costs us 2 stamina. And if we wanted to completely shift everything, so we move the central one 90 degrees, it costs us 3 stamina. So we have to really think about how we manipulate the cube and the cost associated with turning each side to generate new values. Okay, so let's pretend. Let's say I don't know. Let's just do this. We'll start here. Okay. I am going to turn it 180 degrees, okay, and I'm going to turn this one probably 90. So it's cost us 3 stamina. Okay, so now our stamina value is on 4. Okay, so let's deal with them one at a time. So we've got an enemy. You can deal with them in any order, okay, but we've got a red square, so that's an enemy. Now, I wanted to originally had a dice. We roll a dice, and the outcome of that roll will determine whether we won or we lost the fight. But it was just another element to the game, so I wanted to keep the gameplay as much dependent on the cube as much as possible. So instead of the dice roll, we are just going to turn it over. So any red square, if we are to fight, we need to turn it over and look at how many white squares we've got. Ha, he says. Okay, so if we've got 3 or more white squares on the reverse side to what we're playing on, then it's a victory. If not, we've lost the fight and we take -2 off our HP. So obviously we don't have any. Okay, so 3 or under, we've lost the fight, so our HP is now 18 as we've taken 2 off. We also have a yellow. Let's go with the yellow. That's a wild card. Now, a wild card, okay, allows us to turn any of our squares on the reverse to a colour that we wanted. So, for example, there's no white squares. We could turn one of these to a white square, but it still wouldn't have helped us win the fight, would it? Okay, so it wouldn't have served much use. But the wild card allows us, when we flip the cube over, to convert any of these colours into a colour of our choosing. Now, orange are traps. Okay, orange are traps, and it's the same process as before. So if we're to navigate a trap, okay, we're to look on the opposite side of the cube and count the number of orange squares. Okay, if it's an even number, we dodge successfully. If it's an odd number, then we haven't dodged it successfully and we take damage. Okay, if there's no orange squares at all, we still take damage, but it's greater. So if it's an odd number, we take 1 damage, so we've only got the 1. So our health value is now 17. Okay, if there were no orange squares, then it would result in a -2 damage. And as we progress through the game, we encounter other squares. Okay, you'll notice that we have blue squares. So blue squares are springs. So I was thinking that, what does blue remind me of? Water. So we could have like a healing spring. Okay, we could have a healing spring there. That would mean we can replenish our health by 2 each time. We've done yellow squares. We also have green squares, don't we? We also have green squares. So if a green square is touching the player's white square, then we have the opportunity to forage for food, and the green will ensure that we can credit our food value with 1. We can change our food value by 1. Now, after we've dealt with all 4 squares touching the player's white square, we can then we have to take 1 off for our food, because it costs us energy for each room before we repeat the process again. So we recharge, we can manipulate the cube, we can deal with the 4 squares that are touching our player, and then we can take one of the food value. It costs us a food value. Throughout the game, though, there is the goal of achieving or collecting 2 artifacts. So to collect an artifact, we need to obtain like a 3 in a row of any color on the player's surface. Okay, so 3 of a kind of the same color is basically an artifact, and throughout the game you need to achieve 2. You need to collect 2 artifacts in order to complete the game. When you've collected 2 artifacts, so artifacts are 3 of a kind of the same color, any color, by the way. So when you've collected 2 artifacts, then you can head to the exit of the bunker. And the way to complete the game is to basically surround your player square with 4 white squares. Okay, so we're sort of making a little cross. And I nearly did it for this demonstration of the game. So let's pretend this blue one is a white one. So I've managed to surround my player square, my white square, with 4 white squares surrounding it. So once you've achieved that, it doesn't matter what are in the corners. It's these 4 the up, down, left, and right ones, which are the important ones. Once you've done that, you have escaped the bunker successfully and completed the game. Like I said, it's not perfect, but I like the idea of encoding information within a scrambled Rubik's Cube. I have picked up on a few problems. For example, if the squares that are surrounding your player are the same. So let's say we've got two enemies here. We've got to fight two enemies. So if you remember, when we fight an enemy, we look on the opposite side, and 3 or above white squares means we are victorious and we don't suffer any damage. So in this case, we've got 3, so we can defeat this enemy. But then when we come to do this one, we know that because there's 3 underneath still, we can defeat that with ease as well. So I quite like to explore different ways that sort of scenario can be managed when we have 2 or more of the same colour. Doesn't necessarily have to be an enemy, but there will be implications when there are 2 or more of the same colour surrounding the player. But apart from that, I think it's heading in the right direction. Like I said, there are instructions for you to download and print out and play. All you need is basically a pencil and paper, and of course a Rubik's Cube or something very similar. Other brands of puzzle cubes are available. Anyway, let me know what you think. I really would be interested. I'm a bit stuck at the minute on how to progress this, so I'm not calling myself an expert or anything, and far from it. Just someone who enjoys making and playing solo games. So have a play, let me know what you think, and yeah, looking forward to hearing what you come up with. Thank you for watching, and thank you for playing. Take care now. Bye bye.